In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the caracal Rails gem, Ruby gem, to generate Word documents from your Rails application. So our current application allows us to display different things for the application. Actually, I have skills and honors backwards, don't I? In the labels there, but not a big deal. Anyway, so what I want to do is create something that will generate the Word document, put the items that I have on this page onto that Word document. So what I'm going to do first is show you just how to create the Word document and how to have your application serve that to the browser. And then we'll look at, in a different video, how to read through all the text that you have or all the stuff that you have in the database to put into the Word document. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is we need to add the proper gem into our gem file. And there's a really great gem called caracal that does Word documents within Ruby, and there's a version of this that we need to include. Rails. So it's the Rails gem for Rails integration. So we want this one, and this basically says do gem caracal Rails. And so we're going to do that in our application. So I've added that, and then of course need to install the bundle. And you'll see here that it's installed. It's using caracal 1.0.1. Okay, so that's the first piece. Next, I want to add an action in my controller. I'm just going to call it page 4, and I'm going to add that to my routes file. Or page 4. And then I also need to add the link on my nav bar. That's in my application html.erb. That's part of layouts, so that's there. And I'm just going to copy and paste one of these and add in that link for generate. Generate Word, generate docx. And then I'm going to change this path. I'm going to add this path here for page 4, which we've already added to our document. So let's see. All right, so I've added the link to the nav bar, and I've got my action here in the controller, and that's where everything is going to happen. Actually, let me restart the server, and we'll see that the link has appeared. So what? Refresh this. There's my link. Let me go ahead and expand these. It doesn't matter if they're expanded or not. I just expand them. All right, so we can generate docx. Actually, if I click on this, obviously nothing's going to happen because I have nothing in the action here yet. Okay, so as our first go at this, I am going to basically use the example found on the documentation for caracal. And that's up here at the top. I'm just going to basically do this. So what this says here, we're going to create a document called example.docx. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to actually give it a path name so it saves it in a particular place. And this basically says, hey, let's name this document or the variable docx and then add stuff to it. So on the first page, we'll have a header with a header 1 plus a header 2 section. There's going to be a line there, and that's what the HR is. Some paragraphs and blank paragraphs, as well as some basic code. Let's say they want to add a table. We'll go ahead and try it. I don't think we have a logo or an image, though, so we won't add the image. So let me just go ahead and copy and paste all of this into the document. And I'm going to tab this over. Let's see, I want to see more of the screen here. One more time. Okay. All right. So, so this is what's going to be in our document. Actually, I don't have any data to put into the table, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And then we don't have an image, so delete that. All right. So our document's going to look pretty basic. And then I need to make sure that this gets saved in the proper directory. There's a directory called public here. And so I want to make sure that this document gets saved there. I'm going to put a /public in front of that. And then I'm going to add two commands at the end of this. The first one is just for creating a path that we're going to create as part of the name for the file. And essentially what this is doing is takes whatever the full path is to the root directory for our Rails application and then appends public onto the end of that. And then here is the magic. We're going to send the file to the browser. So we're going to take this file name and whatever path that we just created, and then we're going to add on to that example.docx. And essentially what this is doing is saying, okay, you've got this file called example.docx. It's in this directory. Find the file and send it to the browser. Okay, so that should be all we need. And so refresh the page. We've got that generate.docx there. Of course, remember this document doesn't do anything. Actually, it's just this text here. But let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and send it. I'm opening up my my downloads directory. So when I do this, it should appear there. So I click on it, and you probably can't see this, but there's a example.docx was just sent. That's here. I'm just going to open up this file. And there it is. So that page one header, that line, section, here's that list that was at the end of that document. So that's basically it. The real trick here is using caracal to create the document, and that's what we're going to look at in the next video. Is what are some of the things that we need to do for this document in order for it to be properly constructed, and in particular, we're going to be reading all these things like the skills and whatever else and adding that to the document. So anyway, that concludes this first video in this series on creating a Word document from your Rails application.